Ja, herzlich willkommen zurück nach der Pause, liebe Teilnehmerinnen und Teilnehmer. Ja, ich freue mich jetzt auf einen wirklich vollen Nachmittag mit ganz viel spannenden Gästen und viel spannenden Themen, die wir jetzt noch vor uns haben. Und wir beginnen, wie schon angekündigt, mit Dr. Peter Schad. Er ist Chief Technology Officer der Siemens Healthineers und wird uns einen Einblick geben über Fighting Cancer with Digital Patient Twins.
Liebe Frau Bergen, schön Sie wiederzusehen. Sie können mich gut hören?
Wir können Sie gut hören und Ihr Vortrag ist auf Englisch.
Ja, genau. Und dann legen wir gleich los. Also danke für die Einladung. Und dann werde ich jetzt versuchen, meinen Bildschirm freizugeben. I hope this is visible now to the audience. And okay, let's talk about fighting cancer with digital patient twins. So coming out of the situation which we are all in until today, unfortunately, this COVID-19 pandemic has been a catalyst for unprecedented challenges worldwide for all of us, both privately, but also professionally. And we have not been well prepared, despite the warnings from science. We've seen all the pictures from Brazil, China, India, Italy, and the United States. However, in Germany, the pandemic is in its fourth waves, and hospitals are exceeding their intensive care capacity limits. These challenges reflect the fragility of our healthcare systems, and they also remind us why healthcare is part of every country's critical infrastructure. We must consider healthcare as a shared responsibility. The pandemic has shown that state-of-the-art infrastructure isn't a cost factor, it's a prerequisite for a nation's well-being and competitiveness. And innovative technologies help make hospitals more efficient and reduce the workload on healthcare professionals. That's what we urgently need. They also allow us to ensure high-quality healthcare delivery. The European medtech industry, about 760,000 employees in 30,000 companies, has made an important contribution to the pandemic. It developed tests, diagnostic procedures like ventilators, equipment, and it serviced and maintained existing equipment so that they could be used to treat patients suffering from COVID-19. The urgency on COVID-19, however, often blurs the view on even more challenging diseases. More than ever, we need innovations to combat cancer, cardiovascular diseases, and many other chronic diseases with an epidemic reach. Almost every family has living relatives who have a cancer diagnosis. Every year, more than 18 million people around the world are diagnosed with a tumor, including 3.5 million people in the European Union. According to the Cancer Atlas, the healthcare costs for all member states to treat cancer add up to 141 billion euros. This is only 1.4% of the gross domestic product of the European Union. But the World Health Organization assumes that the annual incidence will have doubled by 2040. In many countries, cancer is the second leading cause of death overall, just behind cardiovascular diseases. Now, cancer is one of the most complex diseases. There's no such thing as one single liver tumor. There are many and in different stages. As a patient, though, each of us expects to be diagnosed and treated as individually, precisely, and effectively as possible. However, many people today don't have access to high-quality healthcare. The lack of healthcare professionals and increasing expenditures are some of the biggest global challenges to meeting these expectations. At Siemens Healthineers, we aim to make medicine more accessible, more efficient, sustainable, and also more humane for everyone. Let's do not forget that Sharing in scientific progress and its benefits is a human right and is the right to the highest attainable standards of health. We are convinced that digitalizing healthcare systems can make a significant contribution. Shadowing the patient in the digital domain end to end will evolve as the key enabler to highly individualized precision therapy. We see great potential in the development of artificial intelligence, sensor technology, and robotics to improve medical care. In the future of medicine, that's my belief, digital patient twins, which Siemens Healthineers is working to develop, will help patients to be treated earlier and more precisely. Using models based on algorithms and large amounts of data, we're trying to better understand people's health status in order to predict changes, plan personalized treatment options, and improve the outcomes at reduced efforts and increased patient experience. Our goal is for people to live longer and healthier lives while saving critical resources in the healthcare system. We already know today, for example, that diagnosing various types of cancer as early as possible drastically increases the chance of recovery. Now, to accelerate this objective to become a reality, we innovate breakthroughs in healthcare for everyone, everywhere. And our advanced imaging techniques provide us important insights into the human body, for example. The recently introduced photon counting technologies for computed tomography will allow clinical insights never seen before. And artificial intelligence, then on top of this, complements these capabilities. In cancer diagnostics, it's helping reduce image errors caused by patient breathing, among other things, impairing the diagnostic quality. The artificial intelligence algorithms evaluates breath movements and triggers the computer tomograph image to be acquired at exactly the right moment for the best possible image quality. This is, of course, helpful for diagnosing lung and other cancers. Artificial intelligence also supports then the doctors and radiologists with automatic preliminary findings and with the analysis of large amounts of image data. Subsequently, artificial intelligence also helps physicians then with planning of, for example, radiation therapy. We can automatically determine tumor contrasts, boundaries, volumes, and tissue changes. And cinematic rendering allows us to realistically display a patient's state of health in the digital twin so that we can better prepare for the treatment. More precise plans can be created with much less efforts. For that, we can actually already today use models based on algorithms to also calculate whether and how patients will respond to radiation therapy. As a result, the duration, dose, and frequency of the individual sessions can be individually optimized so that the surrounding healthy tissue is affected in the least possible way, while the tumor tissue receives the amount of radiation that kills the cancer cells or slows their growth. This makes the treatment of tumors even more efficient and effective. In a study on our deep profiler, which was published in 2019 in the scientific journal, The Lancet, we were able to clinically prove this for the radiotherapy of liver tumors. The method achieves up to 45% better treatment results than irradiation without optimization by artificial intelligence. So we believe the added value of innovative cancer care lies in delivering better outcomes for patients and healthcare systems using fewer but better and more efficient resources along the pathway. We are on a journey to eradicating the fear of cancer by making it a treatable chronic disease. Now, if global today's crisis in our healthcare systems has made anything crystal clear to us, it's the fact that diseases don't stop at national borders. The fight against COVID-19 and cancer is a global team effort for experts in research, clinical practice, pharmacology, and medical technology. Today, the speed of global cross-functional collaborations that lead to innovations is impressive. And this speed will remain our benchmark even after the pandemic has subsided. The digitalization of medicine can help improve healthcare and make it more resilient to crisis. It's hardly an exaggeration to say that investing in healthcare systems and their digital infrastructures saves lives. About 7 trillion euros are spent on health every year, but less than 1% goes towards technologies that make healthcare more efficient and effective. Now, according to the World Health Organization again, 20 million people worldwide have died of cancer during the past 2 years of the pandemic. That's almost 5 times the number of COVID-19 deaths up to date. So the incidence of several cancers is also increasing rapidly, but the outcomes will be good if the world turns to science. By 2030, almost 10 million people won't die of cancer if it's possible to invest more in imaging and quality of care, especially in the low-wage countries. The cost of these investments, admittedly, would be an astronomical 205 billion euro. But in addition to the life saved, however, the economic benefit would exceed that by far. The researchers put it at 2.4 trillion euro. With a projected shortage of 18 million healthcare professionals by 2030, we urgently need technologies that will reduce the burden in everyday clinical practice. We must take the prognosis from science seriously, derive the appropriate sustainable measures for our healthcare systems, and most importantly, we must act. So the use of artificial intelligence in everyday clinical practice is no longer science fiction. In the future of healthcare, it will become even more indispensable for translating the growing volume of data into decision-relevant knowledge. This technology has the potential to significantly improve also then the access to high-quality healthcare in highly specialized centers, but also in remote, poorly populated areas or emerging countries. However, extremely high demands must be placed on its application to humans. On the one hand, the data quality has to be very high, and on the other, we need secure and transparent access to health data. Both requirements are prerequisites for the successful realization of digital patient twins. In my opinion, there are still no satisfactory solutions. Although we are sitting on a treasure trove of data, we haven't yet been really able to access it. We need to find a solution that lets us access and process large amounts of data securely and efficiently in accordance with the relevant legal framework. This is the only way we can leverage the full potential of digitalization in medicine for the benefits of all patients everywhere. Thank you, and back over to you, Inga.
Yeah, thank you very much for this very insightful presentation.